Okay, and then I'm gonna slide my chair over to it.
Oops, like this?
Yeah, so we're closer.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready to begin. So we're tasting 4 Cabernets from Walmart in the $10 to $20 range, and they're all from California. So these are Cabernet Sauvignons from Walmart,
Yay!
10 to 20. And so we're starting off with wine A, and this is a blind tasting, and we'll reveal the wines and their costs when we're all done. And we're starting off, so we'll go wine A, B, C, D. We're starting off with wine A and doing our tasting. And we're looking at the color.
Color's beautiful. It's super dark.
And you get yours to work on the back of the plate. Okay,
Yeah, super dark.
Okay.
And then,
Aroma.
that smells
A little
good.
licoricey.
Yeah.
A couple of, it's very fruity.
Yeah, raspberries. I would even say dark chocolate in there.
Yeah, there is some rich chocolate. It's got some complexity to it. Not.
I think it's really nice. Okay.
It is good. I had a little trouble with it. A little strong there, but it's okay.
Definitely taste licorice.
Okay. Very acidic. Woo, super acidic. Actually, we should have done a little glass of white wine to start with. Uncle Richie's idea.
I'm not super happy with the ending.
I'm not really tasting a whole lot of variety here. Okay. And the finish, I'm not getting a whole lot of variety.
Okay.
2. All right. I got a little ping over here. I don't know who's pinging. Let me see.
I think it's for me, the finish is pretty short. Okay, there we go. Okay, ready for wine number 2? We have 2 glasses here, so in the end, if you have ones that we want to compare, we can compare the 2 glasses.
All right, I'm still on this first wine, just on the flavor, and I get that, kind of that acetone flavor, and not kind of, and not really fruit floral. I guess you do have some berries in there, but it's still.
I thought there were berries and licorice.
Yeah, there's licorice.
But it doesn't last.
Okay, now let's rinse this out, and we'll go to wine B. I don't know if it's acetone. It's probably not the way to describe it.
Acidity, very acidic. Acetone is
I know.
nail polish.
Nail polish. Okay, here's wine B. So now we're going to blind taste wine B. It's a little bit darker in color, more like it's. Well, in my opinion,
I'll make my own decision on
it
that.
looks a
Thank
little-
you very much.
To me, it looks like it's aged a little bit longer.
Oh, it is pretty dark.
It's got more of a,
But I mean, it's
Like-
clear.
like it's been in oak barrels as well.
Yeah, no, it's clear and it's dark, so I think it matches a Cabernet.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a less of a licorice smell. You can smell the acidity. A little floral aroma, kind of like you're smelling some roses. It's pleasant. I mean,
I'm thinking blackberries.
Yeah, there are some blackberries.
Okay.
Some currant, black currant. So let me see, on my
No, I like that one better.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a little more balanced. So you've got the tannins there, you've got a little bit of acidity. It's kind of a nice on the palate. Now still, it's got some berry flavor to it, so it's kind of a little heavy on the
But
front
it
end.
needs to have some berry.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that like berry. I'm not one of them. But I would rate this one a little bit higher than the other one. So we're still on wine B in this
Yeah.
blind tasting of Cabernet Sauvignons from California. Now we're tasting, see how the finish is. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
trying to see what else I smell in here, but I do smell floral. I feel like I'm in a garden, which is nice. Yeah, that makes good.
I'm waiting for my peppers. Like some pepper.
All right, we'll clear out our glasses. We are moving on to wine 3, or wine C,
C. Yeah.
as in Charlie.
C or 3.
Okay, so wine C in our blind wine tasting. Okay, pours out nicely. Looks like a good Cabernet color. Doesn't drip from our new faucets. Pours.
Once again, this is equally dark and clear.
Mhm.
I guess it'd be a dead giveaway if it was cloudy.
Yeah, well, the only thing I see, this is similar to the last one, but not quite as like it. I don't see this one being in barrels. I think this still nice color. So we're on wine C, and we're blind tasting wine C. We're looking at the color. The color looks good across the board,
You'll probably like this one better because it's not as berry.
and the smell. Now, okay, now what is that smell?
We're still figuring out our smells.
Help me memory. Tell me what that is. Because
I'm thinking it's got some licorice.
there's licorice, there's some leather, there's some wet leaves, kind of.
I don't taste any, smell any wet leaves.
I do. Kind of wet, yeah. It's kind of, like a little bit like the grass has just been cut. And I know the grass has just been cut outside, so maybe that's what it is. I've got 3 or 4 different flavors. Can I identify
Blackberry.
smells? Can I identify them all? I don't know,
Yeah,
but I would.
I did licorice and blackberry again. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so I mean less acidity, a little higher in tannins, so it dries out the mouth a little bit. I like that.
Has legs.
A little more acidic. This to me is a little more drinkable, although I still feel some, the metallic on the either side of the tongue, kind of feeling.
I do taste berries in here though.
Taste. Okay, and then finish. Still short. Okay. All right, I've got my score on C, wine C. Just gonna double check it. Yeah, it kind of gets a little bit, is that pH? because it kind of feels like you've got to have something to balance it out. You have some food. I'd like to have just a little chip and change the flavor. Maybe it's the acidity.
Okay.
All right, are you ready for wine? Oh, you're still tasting.
I have to rinse it out first.
Okay. Okay.
You know, after being in Portugal and drinking all those wonderful wines,
Yeah, we're having wine remorse,
yes,
wine withdrawals. All right, so-
hopefully, we're posting some of those Portugal.
Yeah, I have
And
all
Spain
three.
ones?
I would have brought them, but I wasn't sure how we were doing this. Okay, so now we're gonna taste wine.
Check
D.
back with us so you get those Portugal and Spain videos.
Wine D, and look at that. So this,
A little bit lighter.
this to me, it gets more of the, I would say this is in barrels, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay,
Very, very clear, once again, ruby, dark ruby. You know, it looked light coming out of the bottle,
all right,
but it's still dark.
color, I'm gonna give it high marks for color. Very in line with wine B in the coloration of it.
Smells good.
It's got, I don't know. I don't know, this one,
I think this one has the leather in it.
there's something else in there. There's something more, it's got a stronger aroma, and I'm trying to place it, and I wish I needed a couple of good wine words to add to this one.
Okay, well, let's see.
But I'm not a fan. I wouldn't put my nose in this over and over again while I'm sitting there in front. Maybe, wish I could describe that.
I would say blackberries.
There's something else in there. There's more of the wet leaves are back, but more of pine needles.
Plum, I think there's plum.
But there's also like a mint.
I think that's a
like a
licorice.
mento. I feel like I'm
Oh, mento?
like a
Oh,
mento,
I mean,
a
mint.
combination of mento and licorice.
I can kind of see where you're coming with that, but I don't think they have mint describing wine.
It's in there. I'm tasting.
No, it's very soft.
It is. It is. So now it starts. So it's balanced.
I would say so. I like it.
I'm having trouble with the aroma, but so if I'm not really smelling it deeply, then the flavor is good. I don't have the metallic flavor there at the end like I had on that last wine. It kind of settles in nicely, and it's got a nice long finish. It's not.
I'm still thinking leather. Leather and the dark berries.
Okay, I think I've got my. Okay, my scores are in. Lynn, are you doing your scores?
Yeah,
All right, while you do your scores, I'm gonna do the bottle reveal.
okay.
So wine A that was tasted is the Bieler family Born to Run Cabernet Sauvignon from 2021. It is $12.50, and it came from Walmart, and it is cellared and bottled by the Bieler family in St. Helena, California.
Oh,
Okay, that's the first one.
okay, I'm comparing two because they came very close. Okay, there you go.
All right, and then wine B. Wine B for the great reveal that we tasted in the blind wine tasting is the Pyramid Scheme Cabernet Sauvignon from California, 2021. It was $14.95. It did have a 91 point rating from Wine Enthusiast. It is cellared and bottled by Pyramid Scheme Wines in Sonoma, California, from the Precision Wine Company. That was B. All right, and then wine C on the great reveal is
Oh, Josh.
Josh, our famous Josh Cellars Cabernet Sauvignon from 2022, and it was $13.99 from Walmart. It is blended, so yeah, I tell you, they mixed the
Two.
cabs. Blended and bottled by Josh Carr in Ripon, California. Josh Cellars. Okay, that was wine C, and then wine D. Wine D comes from, the final is Cole Cellars. It's a 2022. It is a California Cabernet estate. It is family owned. California Cabernet Sauvignon. It is a family owned estate. It was $12.99 from Walmart, and it is cellared and bottled by Cole Cellars in Healdsburg, California. Healdsburg, California. All right, and that concludes the wine tasting, and now we will read our scores. Would you like to read your score?
I will read my score. So the very first one was Bieler. Can you turn him around so I can see him? Yeah, Bieler, and that got my lowest score of a 13. It looked good, it smelled good, but the rest were kind of Number 2 is Pyramid, and that got a very high score, and I have them here, and I'm tasting them together with my other one, I'll tell you. But I liked everything about it, and I would bring it to a party. Wine 3 is, what is it, Josh? Yeah, Josh. That got my second to lowest score. It was good.
Did you read your score?
Yeah. 13 is number 1, 17 is number 2, 14 is Josh. And I would buy it again, but I probably wouldn't bring it to a party. And then the last one, which was Cole, was the winner with 18, but it's very close to number 2, which is Pyramid. And my score was 18. And now I'm tasting them again, and I like both of them for different reasons.
Okay. Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome, Scott.
Okay. So I scored wine A, which is the Bieler. I scored it a 9, and I put on it 0. I would not go back and buy it again. However, we did used to buy this wine at Walmart because it was pretty good. But it was a 2018, so I don't know if that's a change in the way they make the wine, but this is a 2022, so my score was a 9. Wine B, the Pyramid Scheme, I scored that 11, and I also 0, would not want to buy that again.
Oh, so different from me.
And wine C is the Josh, very popular wine. I scored it a 9. I would not go out and buy it again. And then wine D, and this matches up with Lynn, is the Cole, family owned. And my guess is they probably put this in somewhat into the barrels, but my score was 11 on the Cole Cabernet Sauvignon from 2022. And I think if we just do our basic calculations, the coal is the winner. And
Yeah,
second
18.
place is the pyramid scheme. So
Right.
you get away from the big name brands, although Bieler's probably a big name brand, but Josh did not quite come out on top.
Yep.
And that
That concludes that wine tasting.
is very
But
interesting.
it
how that
seems
all
to me
works
that
out.
I have to be a little bit more discerning because you are much lower on your scores than I am.
What was?
Scott scores versus Lynn's scores. I'm too generous.
Yes, I